Good afternoon. Welcome all of you. This afternoon, we are going to discuss on love the God in man. That is the topic of discussion for this evening. We know gods normally stay in the temples, churches, and mosques. Gurudwara or somewhere you find. But the thing is that here in the course, of course, we also know the spark of the God that is dwelling inside me, well behind the heart center. That is psychic being, spark soul. So holy way they are same. So here in the course, love of God in a man. So, love of God in man, that is the topic of discussion for this afternoon. Sri Aurobindo course starts the aphorism that is number 424 nicely in a very significant way. The next greatest rapture to the love of God. Next greatest rapture to the love of God. So, love of God, that is truth. So, next greatest rapture to the love of God, that is the love of God in man. Love of God in man. There too, one has the joy of multiplicity. It is a great and a significant sentence that we are quoting here from Sri Aurobindo's aphorisms, that is 424. So next greatest rapture to the love of God. Love of God, that is the greatest rapture, of course, and the love of God is truth, we know, as quoted by Sri Aurobindo. So next to this one, next to the truth or love of God, that is next greatest rapture is the love of God in men. There too, in that love of God in men, there too one has the joy of multiplicity. Very interesting, very significant, very sensitive, and of course very touching aphorism. That is, one has the joy of multiplicity. Again, we are going forward. We will see here in the course. When I was mounting upon ever higher crest of his joy. Again, joy has been quoted here. So when I was mounting upon ever highest crest of his joy, I asked myself whether there was no limit to the increase of bliss, and almost I grew afraid of God's embrace, because this was the peak. There is nothing beyond. I climbed up. And I found almost I grew afraid of the God's embrace. Nice quotation, nice aphorism, and very tactical. Of course, we know very significant way it has been described here. When I was mounting upon ever highest crest of his joy, ever highest crest of his joy, I asked myself whether there was no limit to increase of bliss, because joy after joy it is come, whether there was no limit to increase the bliss, and almost I grew afraid of God's embraces. Almost I grew afraid of the God's embraces. Again, serum the quotes. Here, even when one has climbed up to those levels of bliss, again joy, bliss. So again, bliss is coming on the path of the discussion, on the way we are describing here by Sri Aurobindo, reading from Sri Aurobindo's aphorism 422. Even when one has climbed up into those levels of bliss, one has climbed up into those levels of bliss where pain vanishes. This is the level, that is the top, that is the of course height where the pain really vanishes. It still survives disguised as intolerable ecstasy. Really, at the visual level, we find pain perishes, vanishes. Still in the course, it still survives. Survives in which form? Disguised as intolerable ecstasy. Against Aurobindo has, of course, we have quoted in a couple of occasions the four stages in the pain God gives to us when it is only pain. Number one, the four, really the stages are four. In the first stage, we find there is only pain. Second, it is pain that causes pleasure. Pain that causes pleasure. That is the second way throughout the we can find in the systematic development. And the third we can find when it is pain that is pleasure. first it is pain, second pain causing pleasure, third pain that is pleasure, and when it is purely a fierce form of delight. So again we are going forward and moving to the next one. We find the next greatest rapture of to the love of God. Already we have quoted the love of God in men, that too one has the joy of multiplicity. So in a couple of aphorisms we can find, we can well aware, and we can see find that joy, delight, multiplicity, joy of multiplicity have been well arranged and well planned and well described and well designed and significantly well placed by Sri Aurobindo in his aphorisms. Again, for monogamy may be the best for the body. For monogamy may be the best for the body, but the soul that loves God in man dwells here always as the boundless and ecstatic polygamistic. So two forms Sri Aurobindo quotes: one is monogamy, one is polygamy. So monogamy, so for almost, if you can be a little bit systematic in Hindu philosophy and the Hindu line of asking, we can find monogamy is best most of the times. In we are staying confined to monogamy, but Sri Aurobindo crosses the path. Of course, he touches the another page of discussion, that is taking polygamy, but polygamy with what? The soul that loves God in men, soul that loves God in men dwells here always as the boundless and ecstatic polygamist. Boundless and ecstatic polygamist, the soul that loves God in men dwells always, that is actually polygamist, yet all the time. That is the secret. It is in love with only one being. It is in love with only one being. So here you can see polygamy, monogamy, but thing is that polygamy, not the matter of the mind or body and life. It is the polygamy of soul, which is always boundless and ecstatic polygamy with the God in man. So all the time, at all the time, that is secret. Already secret we know, that is not coming forward. Secret hidden. It is in love with only one being. So again we can go to the next. The whole world is my seraglio, and every living being and inanimate existence in it is the instrument of my rapture. That is a great thing Sri Aurobindo has quoted. This quotation is 426. One of the significant aphorism we see. The whole world is my seraglio, and every living being and inanimate existence, every living being, animate and inanimate, living and dead, whatever is there, every living being and the inanimate existence in it is the instrument of my rapture. That is a great, all living and inanimate, animate and inanimate, living and non-living, whatever you say. So they are of course the instrument of my rapture. Again we are going forward. I did not know for some time. So there is a love, the love of Sri Aurobindo. It is compared between two great deities like Krishna and Kali. You know, Krishna, Sri Krishna, Akarsayati, Krishna, and of course Kali. I am Maya. I wear the face of Kali when I kill. The great Kali and the great Krishna. There is a comparison so far. Lord's love is concerned. So she actually he compares. I did not know for some time, not the whole time. Till that time, I did not know for some time whether I loved Krishna best or Kali. The best, whom? Really it is to Krishna, or it is my love was best for Kali. So it was up to for some time. Actually, it was unable. I was unable to compare where really stands best my love. And when I loved Kali, there is a beautiful coming to the picture, coming to the description scenario. When I loved Kali, it was loving myself. That was in one part. When I loved Kali, it was loving myself. But when I loved Krishna, the another part, then I loved another. So the question is put, it is from emerging question, the brilliant question from Sri Aurobindo. For some time, For some time, I did not know whether I loved Kali or loved Krishna the best, because that is a comparison between love for Kali and love for Krishna during the course. When I loved Kali, it was loving myself, but when I loved Krishna, I loved another. Still, it was myself with whom I was in love. So Krishna loving with Kali, that was a partial thing, loving myself. Second, when I am moving forward, in I loved Krishna. That was a different chapter, different question. I loved another. The still it was myself with whom I was in love. Therefore, I conclusions here in the quotes and concludes. Therefore, I came to love Krishna better than that of Kali. Already you know, make with Kali you can, with Krishna you can make so many things really you can have. So here I am having some beautiful quotations from Sri Aurobindo on Kali, Mahakali, and of course Krishna. Already that comparison is there. It is from the Lord, so we have nothing to hide from you, because it is the direct statement from Sri Aurobindo. Anyway, Sri Aurobindo has described a couple of lines on Kali, Mahakali, and Krishna in his in different context, of course, different styles of writing. Sri Aurobindo quotes Kali. Kali is Krishna revealed as a dreadful power and a wrathful love. Very interesting. Krishna, Kali is Krishna. There is no difference. Kali is Krishna revealed as a dreadful power and a wrathful love. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes on Kali. Beautiful is the face of the Divine Mother. So most of the time we feel on Kali and all destroying force. So many ways we feel, and we take Kali on a very insignificant way. We just try to. Of course, it is in the avatar description we can find there. So far, this goddess are concerned. But here in the course here, beautiful is the face of the Divine Mother, but she too can be hard and terrible. She too can be hard and terrible. Again, we are going for the another discussion when we find the description of the Mahakali. Sometimes we find there is a great thing Sri Aurobindo has quoted. What about the Mahakali? While discussing this one, we find very significant definition from Mahakali. Here in the quotes here, those who want to progress quickly, those who want to progress quickly welcome even the blows of the Mahakali. In Mahakali, we have seen the description, a long description, that great one aspect. Among four great aspects, Maheshwari, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Mahasaraswati. This Mahakali portion we have seen, we have read in the Mother. So here in the quotes on Mahakali, additionally one more quotation we can find here. Those who want to progress quickly, not steadily or in very, very slowly, those who want to progress quickly welcome even the blows of Mahakali. Welcome even the blows of Mahakali, because that pushes, those blows that pushes more rapidly on the way. So be prepared for the blows. You know, even if you can, that another term Sri Aurobindo has quoted, if you can't make God the love, your love, make him fight you, because even if he is coming as a lover or as a foe, anyway you will find the embrace, your problem is solved. Again, we can find Sri Aurobindo quoting on Krishna. In many significant ways, we have seen Krishna. Sri Aurobindo has quoted, I was Krishna in my previous birth. Krishna is the overhead Godhead. Next we can find Krishna is the mother, is the mother of Krishna. Mother has quoted all the greatest God, even Krishna is also my child. They are like kids before me. They are my children before me. So, and Sri Aurobindo, you can, when this jail experience, Sarva Vasudeva experience you have find, Sri Aurobindo has quoted Krishna as my lover and my friend. Here also couple of definitions we can find on Krishna. Let thy steps walk in thy Lord. Very significantly Sri Aurobindo quotes. Let thy steps walk in thy Lord. Let thy sleep and waking be a sacrifice to Krishna. Let them, thy sleep and waking both be a sacrifice to the Krishna. So again, Sri Aurobindo has quoted on Krishna another way. So living in Krishna, that consciousness, overhead consciousness, of course, from it is from Sri Krishna, and the Sri Aurobindo and Mother represents the supramental consciousness. So living in Krishna, even enmity becomes a play of love and the wrestling of the brothers. So that consciousness must be there, and that must be approached. Of course, it is a great saying from on the Lord. So here Sri Aurobindo quotes, while comparing the love for Krishna and the love for Kali, there that is one of the splendid definition we can find, very enlightening, very encouraging. Of course, very much some lot of things to be known. I did not know for some time, because after that time this consciousness has been enlarged. So I did not know for some time that whether I loved Krishna best or Kali. Then about his love, he compares to with respect to Kali and with respect to Krishna. When I loved Kali, it was loving myself. But when I loved Krishna, I loved another, and still it was myself with whom I was in love. Therefore, concludes the concluding remark from Sri Aurobindo, of course. Therefore, I came to love Krishna better than that of Kali, because it was myself plus it was the self beyond. So again, we can go. What is the use of admiring nature or worshipping? Very interesting. That is a beautiful question put by Sri Aurobindo before us. What is the use of only admiring nature or worshipping her as a power? That nature, capital N. What is only the use of only admiring nature or worshipping her as a power, a presence or a goddess, as a power, presence or goddess? Then what is the, again another question also is there, what is the use either by of appreciating her aesthetically or artistically? That's all is there. Normally what we do, we worship nature, we admire nature, and of course we appreciate her aesthetically and artistically. That's what's here in the puts question before us. What is the use then the secret, what is the secret behind all these things, what we have to do? The secret is to enjoy her with the soul, as one enjoys a woman with the body. So, the secret of nature really, not only appreciating, not only worshipping her presence, power, and a goddess, or appreciating aesthetically or artistically, then what is the secret really? The secret is to enjoy her with the soul, as one enjoys a woman with the body. As very significant, very as one enjoys a woman with the body. That is what is here in the course. So nature is not only to be appreciated aesthetically or artistically, or not to be admired by only through worshipping or admiring as a power, presence, or a goddess. Then what really we have to do? The secret to enjoy, the secret behind this love is to enjoy her with the soul. Enjoy her with the soul, as one enjoys a woman with the body. That great comparison is there. There are really great comparisons. To enjoy her with the soul, as one who enjoys a woman with the body. So comparison of nature and enjoyment with respect to this, with nature, enjoyment with respect with the soul, and a body of a woman with respect to this body. So again, we are going forward a little bit ahead. When one has the vision in the heart, when one has the vision in the heart, everything, nature and the thought and action, ideas and occupations and the tastes and objects become the beloved and are the source of ecstasy. So it changes. That is a great transformation. When one has the vision in the heart, they are the center of the psychic center. So when one has the vision in the heart, then what happens? Everything, nature and thought and action, ideas and occupations, tastes and objects become becomes the beloved and are the source of ecstasy. So everything, if and only if it can be tested through the vision of the heart. So everything, even nature and thought and action, ideas and occupations, tastes and objects become beloved, the beloved, and are the source of ecstasy. So really it is a great description, great thing, and of course a great taste you can find here, because so many things we have seen here, the four forms, that with that four great stages, as the divine the god gives us the four stages, the pain. And second, of course, we have seen brilliantly the description of god in a very enlightened way. And finally we can find the difference of loving Krishna and Kali. So naturally it will be a great description and a great event and a great aphorismic clarification from Sri Aurobindo here. It is time to stop and wait for the next one. Vande Mataram.